Today is the day that San Francisco 49ers rookies report to rookie minicamp in Santa Clara. And I have a really cool nugget for you guys because this gives us a little bit of a look into what it's like for these rookies to try to catch up to speed with what the San Francisco 49ers are running. Dan Orlovsky, former NFL quarterback, actually played for Kyle Shanahan and has a playbook. He has what the rookies are going to have to be learning through rookie minicamp, OTAs, mandatory minicamp, and then into training camp. And it is no easy task. When you take a look at all the information that these rookies have to digest and learn so quickly, it also puts into perspective some of the rookies that have come out and played really well under Kyle Shanahan. But take a look as Dan Orlovsky actually shows us a playbook of Kyle Shanahan's when he was with the Houston Texans. And man, you get a really good perspective of how thick that playbook is and how much information you got to learn.
All right, NFL minicamps starting, post-NFL draft. Some have already started. Most will start soon. I have my 2008 offensive playbook, Kyle Shanahan's. Now, some of Kyle's language and verbiage might have changed, but the foundation of it remains the same. This is how big it is and how many pages. Some of it might be digital. What do we talk about all the time when it comes to rookies and playing in the NFL? How quickly they can learn and then go apply the playbook. And I thought it'd be cool for everyone to understand kind of what that process is for these rookies. First of all, most NFL teams will take their offensive playbook, the whole thing, front to back, and install it, teach it from start to finish on 3 different occasions. The first install would be rookie minicamp. Teach the whole thing to them. The second install will be mandatory minicamp when everybody, the whole team is there. And then the third install will be at the start of training camp. Now, why do they do that 3 different times? Now, first of all, when you're installing it in rookie minicamp, you're trying to give your rookies every piece of information, overwhelm them. You're trying to see how much they can take in, how much they can handle, how much can they take from a meeting room onto the field, because that gives you a little bit of an idea of who can play and then what you have to learn. I think the second thing is you're trying to make sure that those rookies, by really like the beginning of the season, but certainly the middle of the season, have seen and heard your playbook so many different times that they can recall stuff, because you're not going to go over that same. You might install something in an August for the third time, and you might not call it till November. So make sure that there's that recall, and then you're trying to see who's going to be able to help your football team mentally. So that's the first understanding. 3 different times the rookies will learn their playbooks. Now, again, this might be digital, but look how big it is. Now, when it comes to the install, you'll start at the very basics. Like, you take this book, and it will start with general terminology, and that general terminology might be just some words that get used for them to be able to talk football throughout the whole install process, okay? And then you go to the huddle for these quarterbacks specifically. Not every huddle is the same in the NFL. Some quarterbacks stand in a certain area. Some receivers stand in a certain area. Some receivers and tight ends break the huddle at a certain point. How many different times do they say the play? How many different times do they say the cadence? So learning that huddle in the NFL. The cadence, what I just talked about. Look at all these different cadences that you can go through. Quick. Long count, on 1, on 2, on 3. So how many different cadences does your offense want to use, and can you use with that rookie quarterback? Personnel groupings, that's who's on the field, right? Look at all these different personnel groupings that you got to be able to learn from your coaches and whatnot. And then you'll go to different kinds of variations of that, right? So you're trying to make sure that you're giving all these guys all this information to see how much they can handle. The splits, the different kinds of splits is where these receivers or tight ends or backs are going to line up depending on what the formation call is and the huddle. And then you go to some of the motions. You know, what word or phrase tells who to be the motion guy and where he's going to start and where he's going to end up. And then all the different shifts. You know, you line up in one thing, and then, you know, again, a word or a phrase makes you move. And then the route tree. What route is called what? Is it a number? Is it a digit? What changes the route? All these different variations. And then alerts, route alerts. You know, what route could be, you know, depending on what the defense is run or what tag is part of that offense. So there's that. Okay, that's just getting to the line of scrimmage, essentially. All that information that you give your guys. And the rookie quarterbacks have to know that inside and out to actually operate, right? And then you go into your installation. And then it's day 1 install. And here's day 1 install. That's day 1. Okay, and then you get to that's day one passes, day one pass protection, day one runs, and then you get into day two. And so this is really 8 days of your offensive playbook getting completely installed, right? And so you will do that in rookie minicamp. How much can you actually take onto the field? And then you'll do that again at mandatory minicamp. Are you a little bit better than you were in rookie minicamp when it comes to all the different things that we have to know? And then they'll do it again in training camp. Okay, can we actually go? Are you a viable option for us to play on Sundays this season? And so I thought it was really cool and really important for everyone to understand, like, look how big this is. This is all that these rookies have to learn for those coaches to trust. Hey, you can go impact the game for us and put you on the field. And specifically for the quarterbacks, they got to know this thing inside and out. And they'll have 3 opportunities really to learn it and grasp it. And just to remind everybody, we're talking about general terminology. We're talking about the huddle, the cadence, the personnel groups, the formations, the splits, the motions, the shifts, the route trees, the route alerts, and then the plays. A lot to handle.
I think this video is really cool just to give us some insight into all the different nuances and intricacies that you need to understand and know in an offense in order to be able to function. And it also kind of puts another level of like intrigue into what Brock Purdy was able to master as a rookie. And not only Brock Purdy, but it's like, you remember when we traded for Christian McCaffrey? I think he got to Santa Clara on a Friday and he played a full game that Sunday. He had to ingest and digest that entire playbook in about 2 days so that he could learn it and be able to function within the offense. He was our starting running back against the Chiefs in that that game time action, which again, you just think about is just absolutely insane that CMC played in that game after being traded for he was on the squad for 2 days. But again, it's just another insight into like how much goes into football, especially on the offensive side. So intricate, so many variables. And that's why you got to be on your stuff on the offensive side, or else if you're just slightly off, you don't understand something, you start moving slower, you start making mistakes, and that's where things start to spiral on you. So the more in your playbook you can be and understanding every single aspect of it, the more likelihood you're going to play faster and have a chance to play on Sundays. So this is what these rookies are going to be up against within these next couple days as they report today for rookie minicamp. I'm excited, man. This is a big day. It's kind of the start of the new season. Obviously, we have our 90-man roster is constructed. They're going to go through rookie minicamp, OTAs, and mandatory minicamp. We get a break, and then it's training camp time. So we're not that far away from the 2024 season, and this is just another reminder that, hey, we're about to go ring chasing here pretty soon. But what did you think about Dan Orlovsky's video kind of explaining all of this? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.